Yes, I'm at the gas pump right now. I wanted to do this video about the economy in America and how Americans are struggling. So please watch the clips and I'll give my commentary at the end. Thanks.
You know, living in America is getting a little hard right now. Like, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, inflation, groceries are so expensive, and, you know, minimum wage is still really low in a lot of states. Student debt is ridiculous. The cost of college just keeps rising. The housing market is trash. The job market is trash. So many people are struggling to get jobs. I mean, it's just getting really hard. Like, we could really use some help.
You want to know why millennials are so pissed off? It's because we were lied to. You told us if we put our head down, we did what was expected of us, we were yes men, we would be rewarded by our companies. And to be fair, I do work for a good company. I'm not trying to bash them. But we just had our end of the fiscal year town hall meeting in which I found out I got a 4% raise, and I should be happy because some people might not get any raise at all depending on their situation. Except I also got a notice today that my rent is increasing by 12%. Do you see how that doesn't add up well? 4% increase over a 12% increase, and that is just one bill. That is just rent. That is not food, gas, anything else.
I swear, every time I come to Walmart, the fucking prices go up. Bitch, I come shopping every 2 to 3 weeks. Tell me why this shit was literally like 40 something and now it's $5.87, $8 for fucking turkey. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And am I gonna buy it? Yeah, I am.
You know, now I understand why it was so looked down upon to be living with your parents back in the day. All you had to do was get a job. Just a job. Here I am, college degree, multiple avenues of income, side hustle.
Traveling makes you realize that America literally makes people anxious and depressed. I always thought that growing up in America, I would be more happy because I have more wealth, more opportunity, more everything. But I realized I've met people like this woman over here. All she does every single day from morning to evening is sell people drinks, and this woman is so happy. I've asked her, she probably makes the equivalent of $25 or $30 a day USD, but she is still happy. Yet I have friends back home who probably make 6 figures, near 7. They're not happy, yet this woman still somehow finds happiness. It's absolutely mind-boggling. People are more happy here because there is a sense of community and you belong to something greater than yourself. So even though you may not have as much material wealth as America or other countries, you still find so much happiness being here. It's absolutely insane. And it's crazy to say this because ever since I was a kid or teenager living in America, they want to put me on ADHD medication, anxiety medication, depression medication, tell me to talk to 20 different therapists. Yet I'm like, just for living, just for existing. And I go here, these people have nothing, yet they're dancing on the street on a Sunday night, being happy. And it just blows my mind still to this day. People here don't equate their self-worth with being productive or constantly improving or constantly trying to make more money, trying to start 10 businesses, getting into Bitcoin, crypto, entrepreneurship, investing, all of this. Honestly, it's like in America, your worth is determined by how beautiful you are, how much money you make, how much fame or success you have. That's how your worth is determined. So if you feel you're not popping on social media, if you feel you don't make enough money, if you feel you're not beautiful, your worth declines mentally, and that's why you end up feeling so bad about yourself, because from a young age you were programmed so much. But here, you don't live to work. Your worth isn't measured by productivity or success. It's you just work to live. Your job is simply to support yourself. It's not some crazy thing. And you find purpose in other things like family, talking to people, hanging out with people, just having fun. Literally being a human being alive is the goal. So I don't know, like in America, people complicate things way too.
Look, I just read an article that was in the Financial Times that described that a single salary is no longer enough to support a family of 4. Again, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, go a little rock and roll country or R&B, what the American people need right now is leadership from both parties to stand up and do something for them for a change. In other words, the same vigor and fervor that they use, the people in the bubble whose children gonna be all right. You know who's gonna suffer is the everyday Americans in this country, as long as they continue to focus on who they're gonna impeach next, instead of standing up to make sure that Big Mama and Big Papa in hoods all over this country, whether they're rural hoods, urban hoods, or suburban hoods, have what it takes to be able to live a good life. A lot of Americans are saying, what American dream? It is slipping through their fingers. And so, Chris, for me, I am on the side of the American people. I am on the side of the everyday person in this country that's struggling every day to try to make ends meet. And both parties have been complicit in serving the needs of the American people because they too busy going after each.
For those of you that don't understand how truly awful the US has become, I'm gonna put it into perspective for you. I saw my aunt yesterday and she told me a story that absolutely blew my mind. And it's really hard to tell me a story about the evil that America is right now that surprises me. But this surprised me. It's on another level. So my aunt is a realtor and she had a client in the past that she sold a second farm to. He is a farmer and he raises cattle, making an honest living, and so his original farm wasn't big enough for all of his cattle, so he had to get a second farm. And then his wife got pregnant and then a medical emergency happened. So basically the baby was born extremely prematurely and the wife almost died, but that's a separate issue. And so I want you to guess. I want you to formulate a number in your head about how much you think it cost for that baby to be in the hospital for 4 months because it was a premature baby. Take a minute, think about it. $900,000. Almost $1 million. What small-time, small business owner, farmer has $1 million? So now he has to sell his second farm, he has to sell some of those cattle, and for what? So his baby could survive America.
Does anyone else feel like they're absolutely fucking drowning financially?
I'm glad you asked. And it's not dark just because it's nighttime. Oh no, it's dark because I have no electricity in my crib right now. And no, I'm not joking. I am not joking at all. So, I definitely feel the struggle, you know. Not joking. See that? It's 59 degrees up in this motherfucker. Oh, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. But I've already done the crying, so I'm at a point of laughing. I make $27 an hour. I make too much to qualify for any rental assistance, electricity assistance, and I never get sick. I think I'm just getting sick because the stress is causing my immune system to deplete. But it's all right.
Your boss said that? Mm-hmm. You used the words burned out? Okay. Did they understand what that meant? No, they didn't. 2 times you've broken down crying, but it's only Monday. So, okay, yeah, no, there is a lot of week left. The exact words were, you should be grateful? Okay. And how did you respond to that? Okay, but was that a single tear or full sob? Collapsing sob. Okay, got it. And when you say soul crushing, were you referring to the 100 extra clients that you've acquired or the 11 p.m. text messages? Both. Okay, yeah, I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, they literally called it Project Gaslight? Like, that's not ironic. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it tracks. It tracks. Yelled at you or just towards your general direction? Both. Oh, that was on your personal credit card. And you haven't been reimbursed?
10 years ago, if someone told me predicted the future and told me then that I would be making what I'm making now salary-wise, but I would be struggling and barely making it paycheck to paycheck and paying for food for 7 people, I would say, you're crazy. I can't even imagine making that kind of money. 7 mouths? That's a lot. And I know everyone is struggling, and trust me, we are too. Every time my car insurance gets renewed, it goes up in price. So every 6 months it's increasing by quite a bit. I shop around and I can't even find a better rate. Every year, my taxes, my homeowner's insurance go up. My payment increased by $700 last year because of taxes and insurance increasing. That's $700 additional a month because the escrow that was paid out wasn't high enough the year prior. And I haven't even started paying on my student loans yet. That's another $1,000 a month. I know this is sad, but honestly, if I was eligible to file for Chapter 7, I totally would. Just to help alleviate some of the financial stress and burden, because you just feel like you can't get ahead. A few years ago, like what we were making, I could throw money, at credit card debt and things like that. Now with inflation and how much everything's costing, there is no extra money to put anywhere. Like, I don't get how people are surviving. We work very, very hard, and we can't get ahead. I know many
Americans are so broke and they don't even realize it. I always get Americans tell me, oh, but people in Mexico only make $20 a day. You can get a full meal here for $2. The metro in Mexico City costs 5 pesos, which is like 25 cents. I can go to the market right now and buy 3 kilos of mangoes for like $2. Yeah, people make less money here, but the cost of living is also lower. Americans think that everywhere is like the US. Now, check this out. Let's say you live in the US and you make $3,500 a month after taxes. I'm being generous. Rent, $2,000. Car payment, $500. Car insurance, $200. Health insurance, $200. Phone bill, $100. Wi-Fi bill, $50. Light bill, $150. Water bill, $100. What's the point of making more money if you don't get to keep any of it? Who cares if you make $4,000 a month if you don't get to keep any of it? 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and that includes half of 6-figure earners. 80% of you guys are in debt and don't own anything, and half of you guys don't even have $500 in your savings account. But let's call other countries poor and let's call other people poor. Living paycheck to paycheck your whole life and being in debt your whole life should be considered poverty, but it's not. And I know this is going to hurt a lot of Americans, but it's the truth. The US system wants you to spend every waking moment of your life working and paying into a system that will never benefit you. Slaving away your whole life just to be retired for a measly 10 years. At least here in Mexico, we own our things. We own our houses. We own our cars. We're not in debt. But anyways, that's a story for another day.
No, wait. Real quick, how much do you think these groceries should have cost? I'm going to tell you right now, I paid $93 for this. $93. Eggs, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of roast beef, a little bit of coffee. I got some supplies to make my green juice. Not all of this makes the green juice, but you get what I'm saying. Some carb balanced tortillas, some pickle pops, I kept it light. Some lemons. This is really not crazy. Why did this cost $93? No, seriously. Why? You could just go to Aldi. I know. I've been grocery shopping for years, okay? I was born in the 1900s. I know how to grocery shop, but I might not want to go to Aldi, and Aldi is not always just right around the corner. So why is it that at my local Walmart, that little bit like that, to me, I'm looking at $50 worth of groceries? What's the issue? What's the problem? Why? And it's certain things you can't get at Aldi, right? Like, look, for instance, I love hot-ass pickles. Aldi don't sell them best-made pickles like that. I like pickle pops. They don't sell them, okay? I like the big old thing of raspberries, okay? Blueberries. Y'all know what the hell I'm saying. They don't sell the big things of it. Last time I looked anyway. So regardless, none of this should have cost what it cost. So we need some change because rent high. My light bill was like $150, $200 more than what it usually is. Like, y'all keep asking for more money, and I'm just not okay with it.
When it comes to owning a home, I kind of like her approach.
So my mom said to me, Mija, you gotta save your money so you can buy a house. So I bought a house.
Obviously, she's kidding, but she actually might be doing a lot better than some other people who own a home. Let me explain. You know how so many people are feeling horrible that they'll never be able to afford a home? Well, it turns out that some of the people who own homes can't even afford them. Not that that should necessarily make you feel better, but it kind of puts into perspective that you're not doing anything wrong. A new study from the Chamber of Commerce found that 1 in 3 Americans is house poor. That is a lot of people. House poor means that you're putting way more money into your mortgage or housing than you can afford. In the olden days, which means like 4 years ago, it was believed that you should put 25% of your income in housing. But now that we're in late stage capitalism, that's not realistic anymore. States with the highest amount of people who are cash poor are California, Hawaii, New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. Which is sort of crazy because residents in these states generally make higher incomes than the rest of the nation. But they also can pay higher property tax and income tax depending on what part of the state they live in. So why are so many people suddenly house poor? Because this wasn't always the case. The answer is bills, specifically utilities. So yeah, not everyone who owns a home is having a good time.
I'm 18 years old and I escaped America. And let's talk about it because a lot of people say it's exaggeration that you can escape, but let me tell you why it's really not. First, let's talk about credit cards because that is one of the biggest traps in America. And it's honestly so sad to see like 90% of Americans are in debt and like they obviously cannot pick up and go to another country. I'm 18 years old and I literally have a credit limit of $25,000, which is honestly so crazy. And I don't mean crazy is a good thing. That is horrible. But that's literally what the US government wants, is Americans to be in debt so they have like control over them. I have a few more things to talk about, but next is inflation and the prices of stuff. Literally 70 to 80% of average Americans just working like jobs, even making $100,000 a year, are going into debt each week. Just because so much prices are going up in America, rent is going up, literally bread, food, anything is going up except people's wages. Yes, it's like that in other countries, but 90% of other countries is not like that. Okay, next topic is college and getting a degree in America. Right now, more Americans than ever before are literally just getting an online job and traveling with their families. I know people who are traveling with their families to Mexico, Thailand, Vietnam, all the Asian countries for less than $2,000 a month. Back to my next point, getting a degree in America literally puts straps on you to stay there for the rest of your life. And you might say, oh my gosh, that's the American dream. Yeah, that used to be the American dream, is to go to college, get a job, buy a house, but now that's like not even possible for my generation. Okay, holy shit, what the hell is that? I need to run. Guys, why is it just on the street? Literally next to shopping, it's just like over there. Okay, but let me preface one thing. It is possible to still buy a house, but definitely not in California where I lived. I bought a rental property in Ohio for about $110,000, which I only needed about $15,000 to put down, and then I had another person put 15. But the only way that was possible for me is I didn't have to pay rent from 16 years old to 18 when I had a job, which I'm extremely grateful for because I was able to get a job at 16 and just save all my money working 40 hours a week until I was 18 years old. I was actually talking to my sister about this because she went to school for about 8 years to be a physical therapist, and now that she's graduated and been a physical therapist for about 5 years or so, because she literally cannot move out of the country unless she wants to go to another country and do her degree all over again. So it's basically like you're stuck in America if you literally go to college and get into debt like they want you to. My advice to people my age, open up a credit card, but pay it on time or pay it early. Because credit is definitely good to have when you're buying a house. Obviously you need it, but that is like my advice to people my age, and literally do not go to college. There's so many jobs on social media now that you do not need a degree for. And the amount of money that people pay for college and get into debt for is also a strap on their hand. Like, that's not even exaggeration. If you don't have parents to pay for your college, which 90% of Americans don't, you're going to be in debt for the rest of your life paying college off. It was so sad because in high school, my teachers, they would like tell us how much debt they have. And mind you, they've been a teacher for over 20 years and are still paying off college. Like, it makes no sense to me. I would rather be in debt on a house, bringing in profit, than in debt on college, paying for that. Like, and it's what the government or school doesn't want to teach you. Okay, this video is already too long, but I could go about all this all day. This is why I escaped America. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoy.
So, for one, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and watching my video. The state of things right now is that many Americans are complaining and upset about the money that they have to spend, the hours that they have to work on the job, retirement being almost impossible in this economy. And we as Americans are looking at our administrations for leadership, and the things I like to point out is that a lot of young people are honestly fed up and they're not even 20 years into the workforce. So please drop a like, a comment, and if you're not, subscribe to the channel for more updates. And please tell me what you think. I would love to hear.